Hi, this is Mick Burgess, and I'm now joined backstage at the Riverside with Paul Cook from The Professionals and the Sex Pistols. Paul, how are you doing?
All right, not bad at all, thanks.
Jolly good. I mean, you've been on tour with the Ruts now for a few days. How the show's going so far?
Well, we've been on for over a week now. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, we've had a lot of people turning up early to catch us as well, which is great.
17 dates on this tour. Is this the biggest tour you've done for a while?
It is, yeah. I was thinking that just before we set off. I thought, oh my God, what will I survive this 17-day tour?
Yeah.
It's like, wow. No, that's all right though. It's all good fun. Yeah, the boys in the band are good company, so it's all good.
Yeah. So, how did you end up on the tour? Were did the Ruts guys call you up, or is this something that sort of promoters put together?
No, I think it was they asked for us, to support them, which was great.
Yeah,
old friends, the Ruts, obviously. You know.
Yeah.
I've known them for quite a few years now, and they're good lads as well. So it's all good.
You're on first as special guest, and you said you're finding people are coming early because sometimes the opening band gets a bit of a raw deal, but people are coming down early just to see you. Yeah,
we're getting a good crowd early doors, as they say. So that's all good. People are showing up to see us. Hopefully next time we'll be back playing by ourselves. Do our own shows.
So what sort of show have you got lined up? Fortnight, is it a mix of songs from the early Professional albums and some of your new stuff as well?
Yeah, it is. Bit of both really, mixed evenly, I guess. Really, I do prefer playing the newer songs. I must admit,
because it's all nice and new and fresh.
We've done the album, as you know, and the album got quite well received by everyone, and it's a great album. So I enjoy playing the new songs.
Because you did that on Pledge Music as well, so I think you got in on Pledge Music just in time because it seems to have collapsed at the moment. So
so I've heard. But we didn't manage to get paid. So
so you got paid. You got the album out.
Yeah.
I mean, what sort of perks were you offering your fans for that? Was it
not loads really? We didn't do tons of all that stuff. We done like private rehearsals and sound check, turn up sound check, special sound check thing, a special meet and greet with some group of the fans, which was nice. We didn't go overboard. We weren't going out to dinner with them all and invite them.
Take them on a tour of the Austrian Alps or something.
Didn't invite them round for tea. And
which some do though.
I know they do. I know.
So the current lineup, Paul Mize isn't on the tour. Is he still with the Professionals, or is he left now?
Not at the moment. No, he had a few health things going on, and he's got a regular full-time job as well, and so it's all amicable. It was better that he just stood back for a while. He might turn up here and there. Who knows?
Still part of the family, like say what Jet Black used to do with the Stranglers, made an occasional appearance here and there.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good.
Yeah, because Steve Jones was originally in the band when you put it together back in the early 80s, and he does play on the new record. Why did he decide he didn't want to do the live shows? I mean, I know he's living in America. Is that the main reason? Yeah,
that's the main
reason.
Yeah, you can't get him out of America. We can't get him out of I was going to say Los Angeles. You can't get him out of Hollywood most of the time. He's got a radio show. He's got a regular job, as it were, and so he doesn't get out of America that much.
Yeah, why would you want to come to Newcastle on a cold Wednesday night?
Exactly.
When you could live in LA.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you want to do that?
We've Hollywood to Hammersmith.
Yeah. So, but he's still part of the band. He'll come and play parts and what have you, like he did on the last record.
Yeah, I mean, if we played in the States over on the West Coast, I'm sure he'd jump up and stuff like that. So it's kind of one. Kind of bit of a big family really at the moment. The Professionals, we've got tentacles everywhere. Indeed.
So you got Tom Spencer now, who does the vocals and guitar. Where did you come across Tom in the first place?
Bumped into Tom. I haven't known Tom a long time, but he was a friend of I don't know, our paths crossed playing for just Ginger Wildheart was a connection actually.
Oh yeah.
Tom was playing with him, and I turned up a couple of times to just do a couple of guest appearances with Ginger, and
local lad Ginger as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the connection is with Tom really. And then he came down, tried when we was looking for a singer, and he fit in perfectly.
Yeah, he's got a good punchy voice.
Yeah, it was great. Just worked straight away. So that was good.
What about Chris McCormack?
Well, originally Ray McVeigh was in the band originally, the reformed Professionals. That didn't work out for one reason or another, which I won't go into here. And then Chris has been around again as London for a long time. and Tom recommended Chris, and he came down, and again it just all slotted in very nicely, and this is the current lineup now we have.
So you've got a good unit of lads going around, good fun to be with, and good musicians.
Exactly.
That's what you need, really.
Yeah, and
you've got to spend a lot of time with each other.
Yeah, well, that's important.
Yeah.
It's important that you get on and have a bit of fun, you know. Absolutely. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, because when the band originally formed with you and Steve, after the Pistols folded, I mean, did you know towards the end of that time with the Pistols that you two were going to work together again? Yeah,
I guess that was just a natural progression. Really, we were going to always work together. He didn't really never wanted to be a front man, Steve. Really, he was just kind of forced into the position. He never really liked it, and that's why the band imploded. We didn't last long. We've actually been together longer now than we were first time round.
Yeah. So, Silly Thing was recorded under the name of the Sex Pistols, but do you see that as the sort of start of the Professionals? Did you want to put it out as the Professionals at that point, or was it label pressure that wanted to keep it as the Sex Pistols?
Well, we carried on writing some songs after the Pistols split, and that sort of was lumped in with a Great Rock and Roll Swindle, but that was us really after the Pistols. I'd consider that more of a Cook and Jones song rather than Sex Pistols, really.
And you both did a lead vocal for it. Why did you both decide to do the lead vocals?
Well, originally I done one because it was for the film soundtrack. Mm-hmm. It was for the Rock and Roll Swindle. That was the one with my vocal on. Mm-hmm. But then when we got the Professionals together, we thought we'd done a single version of it, and we re-recorded it with. This is when Steve started singing with Steve on lead vocals. That's how that came about.
Mm-hmm. So what did you feel you were able to do in the Professionals that you couldn't in the Pistols? I mean, it was probably a bit rockier, I think.
With the Professionals, well, we had obviously more control over what we were doing in the Professionals. It was just me and Steve without John there, obviously. So it was a different beast, and it was more of our baby, really. You know, it's just Steve and myself who had the control over Professionals rather than having four people involved. It's me and Steve that done all the songwriting in the Professionals.
When you originally split in '82 and you got back again in 2015. I mean,
15, 16.
Yeah, so why did you decide you wanted to have another crack at it?
Well, it just came about, really. Universal released a box set.
Oh, yeah.
Around that time of all the Professionals outtakes, the album, singles, B-sides, and we just thought, let's do a gig to kind of celebrate it, which we did down the 100 Club. And that's when we got Tom involved. That was his first gig with us ever, and it just ran from there. Really, we thought, well, this is quite good fun. The songs are pretty good. Let's go forward with this to see where it goes. Yeah, and that's why you decided to do an album a year or so later. Yeah, I wanted to record new stuff. Didn't want to just it to be a revival Professionals sort of project. So we said straight away, if we're going to carry on with this, let's get some new songs together. Yeah, I mean, you must be pleased with the reaction to receive it. You know, there's some great reviews for it. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we were kind of surprised. We knew it was a good album. We didn't really, me and Tom, we just clicked really. Songwriting and recording wise, it just all fell into place really nicely, and which was great, really. So how long did it take you to sort of write the material for it? Not long at all, really. We just got a bunch. We only wrote the 10 songs, and they thought they all sounded good enough for an album, and recorded them in batches of 3 or 4. And recorded them down in Zach Starkey's studio down in London, and then came up and finished it off with a guy called Dave Draper in Worcester, and it all went swimmingly, amazingly for a change. So what did Steve contribute? Did you just come and do a couple of solos or a couple of riffs here and there? No, originally we just put all the rhythm tracks down, and then I sent 3 or 4 tracks over to Steve and Billy Duffy in LA, and then they put the guitars. We'd lost Ray by this time, so we were guitarist short, and so I thought, well, let's just ask some friends if they want to get involved, and they did, and that's how Billy Duffy and Steve put a few tracks down. Then I asked Marco from Adam Yancey, he put a track down, and there was Phil Collin, my friend from Def Leppard, and Man Rays, you were together in Man Rays. We was in a little band together. And I just got the address, just asked people really, phoned people up, and they was all willing and able.
So it makes it a bit more fun, really, when you've got a few mates involved as well.
Yeah, it worked out great.
Do you see this as a new phase for the band, just the start of a new phase, and you're going to sort of take it and see how it goes?
Yeah, we're just rolling with it, and we want to record another album actually, which we've started doing already. We've got the basis of a few tracks down, done some rhythm. I just want to keep moving forward with it, really. Yeah. If we're going to carry on,
do you think there'll be an album out this year or maybe next year?
Well, I hope so. Yeah, we're going to try and get it done. Commitments. And all that. So if we got the time, we're going to try and get it out at the end of this year.
Oh, right, great, yeah. I mean, obviously going right back to the start. You know, you're a member of the Sex Pistols. And did you realise when you were working on that Never Mind the Bollocks album, what a massive impact that was going to make when you were making it?
No, not at all, really. You don't realise when you're in the moment of what was going on back then. Really. Kind of, it was all just natural instinct. What was natural high energy and all that sort of stuff, and that came together quite naturally and really quickly as well. The Pistol stuff and recording the album, you don't really realise the impact you're going to have at all until circumstances prevail. You know,
you had so much. I was going to say bad publicity. The bad publicity was great publicity, really. Songs getting banned. You know, refusing to play your records, not being allowed to play in venues. I mean, how did it feel for you as a musician to be in amongst all that? Did you sometimes feel that got in the way of your music?
Yeah, well, it did, definitely. All the we was caught in the maelstrom, really. The Public Enemy's #1, etc. It all stemmed from the original Bill Grundy show, you know, and it all just rolled from there, you know, and it just got crazier and crazier, and it did hinder the band.
Is that why Glenn left at that point?
Musically,
was it
that was a personal thing with Glenn, but to keep a band going under those circumstances was it's hard to describe now what it was like to people. The publicity surrounding the band, you know, it was really difficult.
I was just a young lad at that time. I remember reading about it in the papers and seeing it on the telly, thinking, "Oh no, these are."
And so it was no surprise that it didn't last too long, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you really tapped into a whole movement at that time. You know, do you think the timing was just right for you musically and socially for you to strike a chord with the youth at that time?
Yeah, definitely. I think all the planets were aligned at that time. You know, we definitely tapped into a feeling of unrest in the country. There was a lot of social strife going on. You know, a lot of strikes, and there was riots going on. All sorts, you know. And it was a pretty dismal time, really. And we really we were around at the right time, really. That time, and the kids just totally connected with it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not really a great time socially at the moment. A lot of problems going on. I mean, do you think we could do something similar now to sort of draw us away from the?
Well, that would be
problems.
Great, wouldn't it? If there was a band who came up, but I'm not sure if you're ever going to get that again. A band coming tearing out of the urban areas, some four snotty-nosed kids with spiky hair, causing mayhem. I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
It was great.
It'd be great if it did. Be great if it did.
I mean, just the last couple of questions. I mean, what sort of music were you listening to prior to forming the Pistols? Because, you know, people always say, "Oh, punk came along and blew everything else away." What was that everything else away that was blown away were you listening to before the Pistols formed?
Well, we grew up when we were kids listening to. Our musical taste in the band was very eclectic. We grew up listening to a lot of different music when we were kids. Like for instance, when I was a really young teenager, I was listening to Motown and original ska music and lots of rock music as well. All the glam rock scene then, you know, obviously was very heavily influenced by, you know, Roxy Music, David Bowie, Bolan, Mott the Hoople, etc. And that's where we came. We hated obviously all the dinosaur rock bands, you know, like prog rock and all that, which was swept away, which was great.
You still can't listen to that now, then?
No, not at all. So that's where we came from. And John had totally different musical taste to us as well, and Glenn as well. So that's where the chemistry came from for the Sex Pistols, really.
That's what probably gave you that unique sound as well.
Yeah.
We mentioned Man Rays, the album you did with Phil Collins and Simon Laffey from Girl, Phil Collins from Def Leppard. Was that a one-off thing, or do you think you could do something again together in the future?
Well, that was difficult, really. We'd done a couple of albums with Phil and Simon. It was always difficult because Phil was always... There was always, whenever we wanted to get going and do some lives, Phil was always got the Def Leppard call, you know, and he was always on tour. They don't stop touring all around the world and stuff, and so it was a kind of a side project really that never went anywhere. We made a couple of good albums.
You did it too, because I saw you at the City Hall in Newcastle, and I can't remember who it was you were opening for.
Oh yeah, Alice Cooper.
That's right.
There you go. Yeah, we talked about it. I forgot all about that. We done a tour supporting Alice Cooper, but we Phil never had the time ever to put the hours in really with Man Rays, which was a shame.
Yeah, there was some good music on that.
Yeah,
it's a shame there wasn't a follow up. So on this tour, once this tour with the Ruts is over, where do you head next? Are you heading over to Europe, or have you got anything else lined up?
Yeah, we've got a little Spanish tour coming in end of April, May, and then we've got a few festivals scattered about over Europe, but we want to do some, like I said earlier, we want to try and record some new material as well, so we'll be quite busy.
And then come back and do your own headlining tour?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, it's weird, we've made a great album, but it's still making people aware that it's around. We're still getting people turn up who haven't. Oh, great! They haven't got the album, and they come and buy the gigs.
But this is a great tour to do it on, isn't it? That's how you get yourselves back out there as well.
Yeah, you got to put the legwork in and get around the country and do live shows. There's no substitute for it. Still, it's the same old. You know.
Yeah. Well, we love our live shows, so thank goodness you're still playing live. Yeah. Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure, and best luck with the show tonight and the rest of the tour.
Thank you.
You can't